Ramen is a fried cuisine in Japan with a bowl of noodles, sliced meat, vegetables, and all served in the steaming hot soup as the national flavor in Japan. There are three common types of Japanese ramen noodle bowls: tonkatsu, soyu, and miso. Tonkatsu is a popular type of ramen made by boiling pork leg bones. Soyu ramen made from a soy sauce base, tasting a bit salty but savory. Miso ramen originated from northern Hokkaido, a coldest city in Japan, and it has a obviously strong flavor. And ramen noodles are often made with flours, eggs, salt, water, and wheat, and a little ingredient called kansui, which give noodles the chewy texture. The type of ramen noodles shape are classified as fresh, dry, and instant. Ramen has a deep root cultural significance, which adds to its delicious taste of the fulfilling meal. Let's approach this from a historical aspect. Ramen is originally from China and arrived in Japan during the 19th century. After World War II, Japan increased their import of the U.S. wheat, contributing to Japan's ramen industry and growth that led to ramens became internationally recognized. The nationals fancy in the 80s and 90s that gave birth to ramen celebrity, ramen museums, and ramen video games.
Ramen is a Japanese adaptation of Chinese whip noodles, according to New Yokohama Ramen Museum. Ramen originated in China and was introduced to Japan in 1859. The early practice was to add Chinese roast pork to noodle soup. In the early Meiji era, ramen was a common food in Yokohama's Chinatown. In the 1900s, Chinese from Shanghai and Guangdong sold sliced noodles in Japan and with simple soups and toppings. During the reign of Emperor Showa, ramen became popular in Japan. In that period, the ramen is called Shina soba or Nankin soba. During World War II, Japan's economy's severe depression in abnormal lack of supplies. People don't have much money, but also want to have tasty food. Ramen noodles and Koke, such simple, saving, and delicious food, gradually become the most often eaten food. Of course, also become Japanese people's favorite food. Under such condition, one thing to mention is yatai. It was a store culture that began after World War II, when the mobile snack bars were popular because houses were not being rebuilt so quickly. But now the numbers has fallen sharply because of health problems and other factors. The ambience of face-to-face interaction between people and restaurateurs and friends in the restaurant doubles the taste of ramen.
After the World War II, the situation of famine in Japan was more serious than in the wartime. Many people did not have a kitchen at home, and even did not have a home. They needed to stop feeling hungry quickly, and ramen appeared on this time, from the form of roadside market and gradually become a ramen shop. The history of ramen is often related to the hungers. So, for example, the reason for the popularity of soba noodles in the Edo period is that a large number of rural residents entered the city and needed the cheap and fast-feeding food. The wet and raw materials used to make soba noodles and ramen are the added supplies from United States, who is the prime culprit of the famine. From its origins, it is not difficult to find that Japan is a strong nation, and ramen is a symbol of this unyielding spirit, and show their courage in the adversity. Regarding the development of ramen, and as one of the most representative food in Japan, ramen cannot be separated from the meticulous cooking, which also related to the spirit of craftsmen of Japan. Only focusing on one thing in lifetime is the pursuit of many craftsmen, and is also an important reason that why ramen can be an inseparable food for the Japanese. It represents the strength and the concentration of the entire nation.
During the 1940s, the World War II changed the way ramen exists in Japanese culture. At first, ramen disappeared as there was no time for people to eat out, and food shortages problem became serious at the time. After the war has ended, due to rice was difficult to get, and wheat was being imported from the US, ramen as one of the foods based on wheat became popular. While ramen as the foreign import, which the Japanese government pushed as a wheat-based diet, it was still related to poverty and struggle in popular culture. The wheat importing emphasizes Japan's dependence on the US, and this phenomenon illustrates the political status during that time. However, as Japan's economy experiencing the boom period during 1955 to 1973, ramen culture boomed as well. In the early 1960s, Tokyo was building up venues for the Olympics, which will be held in 1964. This development for the Olympics includes various transportation projects, such as the Shinkansen, subways, and 5 new expressways. The huge amount of construction projects required many workers, and the most popular consumed food for them is ramen. At the same time, ramen also became popular among young people and students. With the development of Japan's economy, people had more money to spend on eating, clothing, and entertainment. Ramen has developed from originally being a cheap product into something could be served at a priced standard restaurant. Also, the product of instant ramen became the most popular and convenient food product, could be put on the shelf and sell to consumers.
In the coming years, I believe ramen will be one of the most foods consumed in the entire world, given the fact that it is low priced and also considered a complex pillar of the Japanese society, loaded with cultural, political, and even culinary vitality that goes beyond this meal. I say that because ramen noodles have alkaline that makes this meal to create a unique soup and stew not to form a gummy mass. It is obvious that people like such dishes that are quick to cook and do not require much in order to create text and textures. Ramen broth is all about impact, and its soup is made from anything, flora and fauna, like pork, mushroom, herbs, fish, and even root vegetables. Arguable the fact that Australia pays homage to many Japanese have made it easy for ramen culture to be easily produced and consumed. Some of these immigrants have set up restaurants like Ipputo that major in cooking ramen noodles that have and continues to attract many more people on the Australian continent. Due to this fact, many stores have narrowed down on selling these noodles where people can freely have access to at any time.